Hey guys, as everyone's just filtering in here, we're just going to give a few more minutes for people to make their way in and we'll get started. Really great to see you guys all here. Can't believe the response for this webinar, for Friendly's first ever webinar. Oh, shit. Hey, Patrick.
Yes.
We just hit our participant limit on the plan.
Oh, right. Okay.
See if you can upgrade that real quick.
Sure. Yeah. Let me check that out.
Hang on. Maybe I just click upgrade. One sec.
Try it.
Upgrade. Oh no, yearly. We're not paying yearly. Monthly. Okay, I just clicked it. Let's see if it works. Okay, we're upgraded. Okay. Uh-oh. We should be able to have more people join now. That was very unexpected, but also amazing.
Okay, well,
let's see here.
Oh, yeah. We got.
Is it working?
There we go.
Okay, great.
We're
Perfect. Perfect. Okay, we'll give people a few more minutes here. It's a good problem to have on your webinar when you hit the participant limit right out the gate.
Thanks to everyone for joining. This is really exciting. I'm glad to sort of meet you in some sense. Wow, this is amazing. We've already got 60 people here. This is wild.
Probably just here for the giveaway. That's right. Nobody really wants to hear us talk, right? No, I think people are super excited. We've been getting a lot of great feedback already before the session. People are just being really excited to learn more about how we build apps with Friendly, and just to get to see some stuff. Oh yeah, Alex. See, some people didn't even know about the giveaway. That's amazing. Yeah, we're doing it at the end of the session. For anyone who's still here at the end of the session, we're going to be doing a Friendly Unlimited giveaway. So if you're still around at the end of the call, someone from the call is going to win a Friendly Unlimited account.
And if you already have a Friendly Unlimited account, then you're welcome to give the winning to someone that you know or whatever. Or obviously we can upgrade your existing one if you're not on the top tier. So
awesome.
Can I participate in the sweepstakes here?
No, Justin.
No, you're banned.
Okay.
You're already a winner. You're already a winner. All right, we'll give everyone one more minute here to come in the door, and we're going to get going. Oh, D. Hardy wants to know if this is real and not pre-recorded. It is Wednesday, March 13 at 1:04 p.m. Pacific time here in beautiful, sunny Canada, coming to you straight from the West Coast. This is the Friendly team. coming
We're
up.
all AI bots, so
We're
there's
just,
no way to
this
prove
is
it
all just
anyway.
artificially generated. None of this is real. Nothing is real. Like, it's the Matrix, man. You just got to wake up.
Awesome. Wow, we're at 60. Holy smokes, 66 people. This is wonderful. Yeah, so this is the team, everyone. This is who you've been talking to. We're here. We appreciate your support, and we're excited to share some ideas with you today.
Yeah, awesome. All right, I think anyone else can just kind of make their way in as they make their way in. If you're late, you're late. So let's get going. So yeah, welcome everybody. Welcome to today's webinar. I'm Brian McKay, Head of Growth at Frontly, and we're here breaking down barriers in app development with Frontly, the most cutting-edge no-code platform. By harnessing artificial intelligence, Frontly empowers you to effortlessly build applications on top of your Google Sheets, transforming ideas into reality without the need for traditional coding. Today, we're eager to explore with you the transformative capabilities of Frontly. Whether you're a marketer, designer, or entrepreneur, or simply someone with a great idea and a vision, Frontly equips you with the tools to turn your concepts into functional, scalable applications. And make sure you stick around until the end of the webinar, where we'll be giving away a Frontly unlimited lifetime deal to one of the participants from today's webinar. So to get started, I just want to quickly introduce the three of us, the speakers for today's webinar. We've got Patrick Kelly, CEO and founder of Frontly, Justin Yan, support lead, and myself, Brian McKay, head of growth. Patrick, why don't you just go ahead and give everyone just a 1-minute intro, and we'll go from there.
Sure. Hey everyone, I'm Patrick. You've probably talked to me if you've been in customer support. I've been building Frontly for almost 3 years, and we've done a few launches on AppSumo now. We've received a ton of great early supporters, and we really appreciate what everyone here has done for us, and we love helping you with your apps. So we're excited to see hundreds of businesses that have really built real things with tons of users. And Frontly is my third company, and this one is this is really a big deal for us. We're excited to help people build apps, solve problems without having to write any code, and we can sense the love for the product, and maybe even more importantly, the community. We have about 1,000 users in our Discord community now, so we really appreciate that. We appreciate everyone's interactions there, and we just want to keep building this. So yeah, very excited to have you here. Thank you so much. We have 76 participants in this webinar, so pretty amazing turnout for our first webinar.
Thanks so much for that intro. Justin, how about you introduce yourself?
Sure. Hi, everyone. My name is Justin. I've been a part of Frontly for a little over 5 months now, but it feels like a lifetime. I've been a part of many tech startups in the past, and I'm super glad that I wound up at Frontly working with Patrick and Brian. I am the support lead here at Frontly, and you may have chatted with me in the past or heard my voice through our YouTube videos. So yeah, this is my face, and I'm very happy to be here with you all. I see a lot of familiar names in our call today, so I'm pretty stoked that many of you were here to join this webinar as well. So yeah, excited to get this started.
Awesome. Thanks, Justin. And I'm Brian, head of growth. You guys probably haven't interacted with me as much, but I'm sort of the mastermind behind this webinar series. We're going to be seeing a lot more of each other over the coming weeks as we bring you guys more content. My journey before joining Frontly has really been a blend of marketing, design, e-commerce, product development, which gave me sort of a holistic view of what it takes to bring a product from concept to market. I've had a ton of experience with other no-code tools like Make, Zapier, Webflow, ActiveCampaign, doing all sorts of things like automations and web development. But it wasn't until I came across Frontly that I truly realized the potential for no-code in developing fully functional applications with robust front ends, and that were able to interact seamlessly with my data. This really let me kind of bridge the gap between ideas and implementation in ways that I never thought were really possible. Even though my background spans a lot of different sort of tech adjacent things, I never really was a developer, never took the time to learn how to code. And I really ran into this challenge of translating visionary concepts into tangible applications, without the immediate need to hire an expensive software developer. So I think Frontly is really just a game changer in this regard, and it's enabling me to just prototype and build and scale all sorts of applications with just bypassing the traditional coding bottleneck. So with that in mind, let's dive into how leveraging the power of AI and no-code development can streamline your processes, cut down on development costs, and bring your unique app ideas to fruition faster than ever before. All right, so why no code? What's happening in the no code space? Some of you guys are probably super familiar with this. For those of you that aren't, no code tools have been quietly revolutionizing how we approach software development, making it more accessible for a broader audience. It's not just about simplifying coding. In some cases, it's about removing it altogether. This shift has opened up new possibilities for businesses and entrepreneurs alike. At Frontly, we've seen firsthand how no-code platforms have changed the game for many of our users. It enables you guys to bring ideas to life faster than ever before. It means you can experiment more freely, validate ideas quickly, and adapt on the fly. The four main advantages of no-code: speed of development, cost efficiency, accessibility for non-technical users, and flexibility. With all those things in mind, we want to just kind of jump right in and start building. And I think the whole purpose of this call today was really to give you guys kind of a step-by-step view into what does it take to build an AI-powered application with Frontly. And so without further ado, I'm just going to jump in and demonstrate what we're going to be building today. The concept that we came up with for this call was a content pipeline manager. This is a great use case for AI, where we're going to be able to generate content ideas using Frontly's AI action, assign that content to a content creator, put that into a production pipeline on a Kanban board, and view all of our content in a content library. And this is something we're going to put together ideally completely on this call from end to end. The pressure's on for Justin, who's going to be building this app while we talk in the webinar. But let's go through and show you guys how this works. So the idea generator, let's just say, how is no code and AI going to revolutionize the world? And we're going to create a blog post, and we're just going to go ahead and submit that idea. Now, the AI is working in the background. We've sent that submission to OpenAI using this action, and boom, we've got a new content idea that's been generated. It's created a title, a description, and a summary of the content. And we're going to go ahead and assign that content by clicking this button here, which is going to bring over our content from the AI into this form, where we can essentially select one of our content creators that we've pre-created here. Let's go with James, and we're going to set a deadline for next week, and we're going to assign that content. And boom, we're over into the Kanban board, where you can see this new piece of content that we've created in the backlog, and we can now move that through the different stages of our production pipeline. We can view that content in our content library. We can filter our content by different content types or by creators. And we can go ahead and add and remove new creators easily in this application in the front end as well. So that's what we're going to be doing today. Let's let Justin kind of take over here and start doing the build. He's going to jump in with the AI app generator and take us through the whole flow of building an app.
Yeah, that's a great it's a great app to build. And one thing that we want to really articulate to users is that it's so open-ended. Like, this is just one of a million different examples, ways you could use Frontly with the AI for your own use case. So you can take this, you can watch the recording after, you could build it, and then you could modify it for a totally different use case with the same idea. And to start this process, we're going to show how you can actually use our AI generator to kind of get what we call the scaffolding. You know, it's the starting point for your app, and it's not meant to be the final app. Sometimes it gets, you know, kind of close, but really what it does is it generates the spreadsheets, and then it generates the pages and the basic blocks that are going to be on those pages. And then you can go and use our no code editor to take it to the next level. So what Justin's doing right now is he started with an initial prompt that represents what we wanted for this app. And we can show that prompt again at some point, just so you can get a better, you know, understanding of it. But Justin's going through right now, and he's refining the pages. So based on the prompt, it suggested a few pages, or sorry, spreadsheets. And now he's going through each of these spreadsheets that the AI recommended, and he's making some modifications. because as much as the AI is really smart, it really only has your prompt, and so it's going to come up with some probably very good ideas for the names of your columns in your spreadsheets, but you might have some specific needs. So you don't have to just let the AI control you. You can modify it the whole way. And so if you ever tried our previous version of our AI system, maybe 6 months ago, on a previous AppSumo launch, we've completely rebuilt this. The idea is to give you the ability to make modifications all along the way through this AI process, and of course, once you're in the no code segment of the app. So Justin's now moving on from the spreadsheet column step. So we're generating some sample data. So based on the names of the spreadsheets and the columns that he refined, we've now got 3 spreadsheets worth of sample data. Now, in the AI generator, we only generate 3 records because this is just sample data. So we don't really, we don't need it to be super robust. But as you can see, you can go through like Justin's doing now, and you can add more rows right here. If basically you need to think about what you're looking for. And if you already know that you want to have a little bit more data in the spreadsheet when it's generated, you can add it here, but you absolutely don't have to. And when you're comfortable with this, you can hit that next button, and then we move on to the pages step. So just like the spreadsheet step, these are just the names of the pages to start with. The reason why it's broken down this way, it almost might seem too simple, but it's so that you can make sure that at this phase, you're happy with the pages that are in this app. And so Justin's reviewing them now. I think he's happy. Yeah, are we good with that? Yeah. And now we're generating the blocks. So if you haven't spent time in Frontly, you might not know what blocks are, but in our system, blocks are essentially building blocks for your page. Just things like a table, a form, the Kanban board. And when the AI makes a decision for which blocks are on the page, again, this is just the starting point. So Justin's going through each of these pages. You can see the tabs there representing the pages. He's checking out the names of the blocks, and he's checking out the type and the spreadsheet. So you can see that he's added a new block and selected the form, and he can change the labels, and essentially is just setting up the baseline for the app so that when the AI fully generates these pages, these blocks will be on the pages, they'll be connected to the spreadsheets, and technically these will be working pages. It may not be the final version of your app because there's a lot of customizations you can make. You can go through and add filters and display conditions and all these fancy things to limit the data or show data for different people. But if you spend a solid 10-15 minutes really thinking through this AI generation step, then you're going to have a really easy time moving forward from that. So Justin's looking pretty happy with this, and he's finalizing the app. So finalizing is really you're done all of this back and forth, and now you get to have a little preview of your pages. So there's really no surprise at this step. Justin basically told the AI exactly what he wanted by modifying those final blocks. So we knew which pages we were going to get. We've got the names, little icons have been generated, and we're happy. So I think at this point, we're just going to hit that finalize app button. Now, So, I mean, we may as well talk about this on the webinar because the thing about our AI system is that AI is very random, and I shouldn't say random, but you end up in a place where, oh, all right, yeah, we're gonna go back. Well, okay, yeah. So what we've done, what we've done on this webinar to make sure that we don't waste your time is we've also prepared this app as another copy so that we can just kind of move forward. But basically what we found is that if you run into a step anywhere through that AI process, if you see an error, like where it says, sorry, try again, often if you just hit try again, you'll pretty much get a result. Sometimes if you don't get a result, then what that really means is that the prompt that you've entered or something is kind of tripping up the AI. We found that when users just message us in the support chat, we're pretty much always able to investigate their prompt and figure out exactly why there was an issue. So
just a quick point here, Patrick. This is the app that we generated. It just created the app during the step that I needed to retry. So what I'm
Oh, I
actually going to
see.
do really quickly now is to ensure that the formatting of the columns are consistent with Brian's final build. I'm just going to do this additional step right now where I'm just going to port over those columns into these new generated sheets just so everything is working smoothly. So I'll get back at it so that you
Awesome.
can see.
Okay, thanks, Justin. So it looks like when he hit the finalize step, it showed an error, but I think that just means it took a little bit longer. And so behind the scenes, the app was finished, but the AI just didn't like waiting. So, there's the thing about AI is that you can't make it universally perfect. Like there's no way for there to be 0% errors because it's AI. It's going to generate something different every single time. So, our system does the best that it can to kind of wrangle the randomness into something consistent. But when you're using AI, you're getting some randomness, and so that's something that we found the OpenAI requests in the app tend to perform quite well because they're a lot simpler than trying to generate an entire app. But yeah, so what Justin's doing now is he's basically going through, and because we're doing this webinar for 100 people, we want to make sure that the app basically does exactly what we want it to do. And so we've actually prepared these columns just to make sure that we're not going to waste your time on this webinar. Justin, did you want to say something?
Yeah, I think that's just exactly what you said there. And while I've made all these changes within the spreadsheet itself, it's always important that you're pressing the refresh data button afterwards to ensure all the updated fields are reflected on your editor. So
yeah, do you want to maybe just show them one more time how you
sure.
do that? So
Right here.
this is something that users see a lot is they make a change, they add a column or something like that in their spreadsheet, and they're not seeing it updated in their app. All that means is you just got to go into one of the blocks that's using that spreadsheet or on the Google Sheets page and hit that refresh data button. That'll pull in all the new columns, and it'll also pull in any updated data in that sheet. So looks like, Justin, have you already gone through all of them at this point?
I
Or are you
believe
still working your way
refreshing it once will refresh it all for all the sheets, but let's just doubly confirm here and make sure.
Yeah, for as long as it's each sheet just needs to be refreshed,
There we go.
not per block. So yeah, it looks like we're good now, and Justin is ready to start basically working on assembling the AI components of this app.
Now we had a little question from earlier. I just wanted to answer quickly on the call. There was a question here asking if the Google Sheets are automatically created during the creation process, during the AI app generation process, from Alex Castellero. And the answer is yes. Yeah, Frontly will create new Google Sheets for you when you generate a new app.
Yeah, so that's the beauty, is that those sheets appear right away in your account. And like Justin did, he went in and even made some further changes. I think one of the most important principles to think about when you're using this is that Frontly was designed to be very easy to build and edit apps from scratch. The AI generator is a really nice bonus because it kind of jump starts your process, but don't be afraid to make changes, because if you're going to build, all of our power users, the people who spend all their time in Frontly, and I'm sure several of them are in this call, they could tell you that once you spend a few weeks really digging into Frontly, you might not even need the AI generator half the time because you already know exactly what you want. They still might use it to speed up the initial process, but they're not afraid to go and make manual changes. And I think that's the important part here. So maybe we can just check in on what Justin's doing here. So he's using the grid based layout. So this is something that is actually a beta mode feature. So a lot of users may not have seen this. If you go to the settings page, there's a beta features tab. And if you turn on the grid layout, you'll actually have another layout option for your page. And that's this more of like a true drag and drop editor where you can actually adjust the shape and size of your blocks on a page in like a true grid. So you can see these 4 little dots around the edge of the block. Justin has dragged it there. And now he's just simply going through this form and he's making changes and changing the field types so that we've got some values. So looks like, adding some options for the select dropdown. things like that. Oh yeah, Leslie made a good point. Thinking of the AI generator as an assistant and a prototyper. I think that's a really good point, because we've built Frontly to try to be very simple without someone doing it for you. That's really the whole idea. So obviously we want to do whatever we can to make the whole process easier, but
well, and I think part of what's been really interesting too is, like, as OpenAI has evolved and ChatGPT has evolved, like, we've been able to do more even than we could like 6 months ago. But there's still issues with consistency and getting the AI to return exactly what we want. And that's every AI platform is dealing with exactly the same thing. So it's not like something that's unique to Frontly. This is the whole AI app world is all dealing with these problems.
That's true. I call it the AI hangover, where you go into a platform that's, some company that's worth $1 billion, and you try their fancy new AI tool and it looks all cool. And then all of a sudden you realize they haven't really figured it out yet. They just, they pumped it out in 2 months just to try to appease the market. And really we're all just learning and testing out different things. So at least when you're using Frontly, the benefit is you're not reliant on this AI. Now, what we're going to be getting into in this call, more importantly, is what you can do with AI in your app, not to generate it. That's where what Brian showed in the initial demo, which is we're building an app that can generate content in a content pipeline. Kyle asked a question about how does Frontly handle calculations, or if you were to build a calculator. So there's essentially two things. We have a quote calculator block, which is designed specifically for like an automatic kind of calculator where you can send data to your sheet and get an instant response back. And what you do is you create the formulas in your Google Sheet for your calculator, and then the user is able to submit information and get a response back. Now, using formulas, you can actually do a lot. Like, you're not limited to the quote calculator block. I would recommend everyone here, if you're not already in our Discord community, if you join, you'll see it's very, very active, and we have a few real power users that are very open to answering questions, and you'll just have great conversations. So if you want to understand how to do something more that isn't covered on this webinar, definitely get in there. We're always happy to help, but lots of users are happy to help too.
I want to just surface a couple questions here. Oh, actually, while we're in this point here, so
yeah, we should talk about the AI.
Yeah, so some of you might have seen Patrick released a video recently showing some updates to the OpenAI action. And I had actually built this before that happened, so I had to go back and rebuild it. But it actually allowed us to do some really cool new things, including this object type response. Patrick, I don't know if you want to get more into that and just talk a little bit about what this is.
I think maybe we'll just, while Justin's doing this, we can stay on the page. I'm also just going to post our Discord link in the chat because someone's asking for it. So there you go. So yeah, this AI OpenAI request, this is a key thing that you should practice and learn how to use, because it's very easy to use and it has a few different options. Something that we released only about a week or two ago, maybe 1 week ago, is this response type, which is the object response type. And all that means is that instead of just getting one big blob of text back from the OpenAI request, you actually get to define the different fields that you want to be in that response. So you can see here, we've got description, summary, title, and image slug. And so the way that this works is Justin's even added these descriptions here, and that tells the AI, like, it gives it context essentially. So when you make your request, the AI isn't just getting your prompt, it's getting your prompt, and it's also getting this information in this custom format. It knows that it needs to reply with a description, a summary, a title, and an image slug. That makes a huge difference, because otherwise the AI is kind of like, how much do they want? Do they want 1,000 words? Do they want, 5 words? Like, it's nice that you have that formatting option. So we like Brian said, we did release a 23-minute YouTube tutorial that goes over some of this as well. And so what Justin's doing now is he's taking the response of the OpenAI request, and he's going to be adding it to the local state, which is basically just a fancy way of saying we're going to store these variables somewhere in our page so that we can access them and we can display them somewhere. You'll see how we end up using them. And so what's happening is whenever you have like a multi-step action, each step might return some kind of response. Not all of them do, but the OpenAI request definitely returns the AI response. And so what Justin's doing here is for each field, he's created these keys, which is the summary, description, title. These are the fields that are coming back from the AI. And he's using the action steps variable to basically capture that field from the AI response and then inject it into the local state. So looks like almost done setting this one up here. And yeah, so those fields line up with the OpenAI request. And now we're going to be starting to populate some of this with some content. So Brian, I don't know if you have any points to make about, since Brian was designed this app, you can maybe talk about like, the use case for this, just so we can go a little deeper.
Well, I think what's really interesting is, the idea that you can be quickly populating your workflow with ideas, like using AI like a sketchbook, like Leslie said before, is really the way to get the most use out of it, I think. And so if you wanted to like rapidly generate a whole bunch of blog post ideas or social media post ideas and start putting those into a backlog, this is a really great way to do that. And that applies to any sort of ideation or idea generating process, whether it's, content ideas for your business or movie ideas or gift ideas for your parents. AI is really great at returning that type of information for you. And one of the things we won't have time to get into on this call either is the ability to trigger external automations outside of Frontly using Make, Zapier, and Pabbly and other platforms like that. So say you have another workflow that's on another app that isn't directly connected to Frontly, you can access all of that data, either pulling it into the app or sending data out of the app, using those connections via the Make and Zapier connection or via webhooks. So we've got a lot of power there that you can unlock. Les, I love that. 4 hours.
Someone just asked about, Doug asked about API. So the only data source for Frontly is a Google Sheet, but we have all of these different actions, and one of them is the webhook action. So a webhook is essentially just an outbound API request that you can send to anywhere. And if you have the right authentication and stuff that platform requires, then usually you'd be using that to trigger some kind of action in another system or send data. So a simple example is like, let's say you have a user sign up, you set the user sign up action to send that user data into your MailChimp account or something like that, right? It's kind of it's kind of open-ended to the point of almost being a little bit overwhelming, but you'll know what you need. And one of the things to remember is that because Frontly uses Google Sheets, and pretty much every workflow automation platform also has Google Sheets as probably one of their most popular triggers, you can pretty much integrate with almost anything just by adding a row or updating a row in a Google Sheet. And then if you're in Make or Zapier or Pabbly or something like that, you can probably for sure set up a Google Sheet trigger that grabs the updated data out of that and then sends it to whatever platform you want. And so someone just asked about Airtable. We actually are looking into Airtable as a data source. We don't have a timeline, but I'm kind of hoping like in the next month. It's just we're kind of focusing on the current AppSumo launch because there's just getting a lot of signups these days. So we're trying to support everybody, but pretty soon we're going to be making a new roadmap, and we're excited to share that.
Now, what it looks like, Justin's currently setting up some relational data inside the app as well, which is a really cool feature that kind of takes your Google Sheets to the next level. Patrick, I don't know if you want to talk a little bit about that while
Sure. Yeah. So yeah, relational data is definitely a bit of an advanced concept, but once you understand it, I think you'll realize that it's actually pretty simple. Essentially, you're just saying, hey, I have these two spreadsheets and they relate to each other in some way. Usually there's some kind of hierarchical relationship. And so before we get out of the screen, maybe let's just talk about it. So in this app, we have a content library, which is a Google Sheet with all of the content ideas. And then we have creators. And so that's a list of these, content creators in this app. And so those are two separate spreadsheets. But in this case, we have every piece of content will be assigned to a specific user. And so in this way, we're telling Frontly that these two sheets are related in this specific way. And so you'll see in the final app, we can show how it's being used, but all you have to do is set up your relation correctly on this page, and then the rest is automatic behind the scenes.
Now, the great things about relational data is, if you have things like orders and products, or, customers and products and orders, it really makes it a lot easier to manage that data and not duplicate your data across a bunch of different sheets. When I was first learning how to build stuff in Frontly, I made the rookie mistake of creating the same data on a bunch of sheets over and over again. I think I'd have like 5 or 6 sheets inside of one spreadsheet. And by the time I was done really digging into it, all of a sudden my sheets were there were much less sheets, like 1 or 2 sheets instead of 5. But they were able to share and pull data back and forth and have forms that were able to interact with data in the other sheets. And that just really started to blow my mind, because I realized like it's literally like building a full-fledged, fully powered application on top of a normal backend database, but it's all editable in Google Sheets.
And actually, one thing that
ahead.
Justin's doing right now with relational data, you can see that because he related these, this is the content library showing in this grid. But because he set up that relation, he has the creator name or any of the fields on the creator sheet available to be displayed. So without him having to store, just like what Brian was saying, without the creator name actually having to be stored individually and phone and email in every single content piece, it's stored in its own sheet, and there's just one column that creates that link. So that's just an important thing that's being articulated here. We've got some great comments from here.
Lots of great questions popping up too. Make sure you drop them in the Q&A so they don't get lost in the chat. We'll try to answer as many of them as we can towards the end of the call. And I think we'll probably do, a more advanced session at some point as well for our power users, just to kind of dive into some more of these questions. I think some of them are a little bit beyond the scope of what we're trying to cover in this call today, but we're going to keep note of those, and we'll try to arrange another kind of experts level session for everybody where we can kind of chat about some more of these advanced use cases.
Yeah, we'll try to answer whatever we can when we have time near the end of the call. But yeah, like Brian said, we'll try to touch on the more relevant ones. Ricky is asking about GTP4. Maybe we can talk about that just while Justin's picking some icons. So we when you add your own API key to Frontly, connected to your OpenAI account, that means that you get to upgrade your GTP usage to GTP4, and it does make a pretty big difference in terms of the quality of the responses, at least for sort of higher level tasks. Like GTP 3.5 is still pretty good, but GTP4 just understands better. It's more logical, and so you'll find that you may not need it, and you might not want to. It takes a little longer with GTP4. It's a little slower. So I would just suggest testing it out, because, really, there's no reason not to try different things with Frontly. It's so easy to make changes and then try other things. Justin, do you want to maybe just quickly catch us up on sort of where you are in this app build? We probably haven't covered even a fraction of what you've been up to, so.
Well, I think I'm nearing the finish line here. I just realized that I got the idea generator page and the assign a content page mixed up. So I'm in the process of renaming both pages so they line up to their appropriate functions.
Got it. Thank you. So what we can do as well, since we've been moving pretty fast here, I know we showed the initial demo, but maybe we can spend a few minutes once this is complete, and we can also just kind of touch back on any particular setups that we think are worth maybe digging into a bit more. There's only really a few major features other than just setting up a lot of fields and things like that. So that's something that you'll find with Frontly is like once you've added all your pages and your spreadsheets are connected and you've added the blocks that you want, then you'll probably go through, make sure that any forms that you have the right field types. Is it a drop down like as Justin's looking in here, you can change the field type, you can add validation, you can change the size of the field. So there's all these little things. It takes a bit of time, but it's really easy to do. So you just have to invest a few minutes. And Tito asks, if I add my own API key, I don't have to worry about the token number in my plan. So the thing about Frontly's tokens is that we do still have a token limit, but we just released an update yesterday that if you add your own API key, you get 10 times the token limit. So the reason for that is that even if the AI is running through OpenAI's, in your key instead of ours, it does still take a lot of time and sort of toll on the server. And so we can't make it unlimited, but our goal is to keep increasing that as long as we don't feel like it's sort of messing up our bogging down the server. So yeah, we haven't really seen anyone hit their limit yet, to be honest. So I would say that although it might, it's exciting, you probably want like unlimited everything, like it's probably not currently going to affect your system. And if you do need to upgrade, we do have options for basically as many tokens as you need. So you can always just reach out. Yeah. So, oh man, we've got so many great questions coming in here. For embedding Frontly. So if you have a website of your own somewhere else that has an iframe option, you can probably type in the Frontly apps, your app's URL, and you can embed it in this other app. It probably isn't ideal. Like it kind of depends on your use case. In order to do that and have it function correctly, you have to set the app to public because the login system is based on browser cookies, and browser cookies don't work inside an iframe. So we've seen a few users successfully embed their Frontly app in other platforms, but I would say instead of embedding it inside your website, I would really encourage you to think about using Frontly as a subdomain of your main website. So, you have your www.yourwebsite.com, and then you navigate the user to, portal.yourwebsite.com. And then even though it isn't technically the same site, you add your same branding, your same logo. It feels still somewhat seamless. And then you don't have to worry about the embed option, and you can still have the full functionality of Frontly. Alex asked, can we add a unique OpenAI key, I think, per app? And that is yes. Every single app has its own OpenAI API key setting. And really there's very few things that aren't per app in our system. I think like your subscription to Frontly is probably the only thing that is really managed on an organizational level. And then a lot of stuff is per app. So how's it going over there, Justin? So you're setting up some customizing field types and just making it look a little bit prettier?
I'm actually in the middle of inputting the local state values into the fields, so they populate as the AI responses from the previous page, the idea generator page.
Okay, so yeah, that's great. We should dig into that. So something that you will probably want to do at some point in Frontly is you will want to set default values for a form. And so what that means in this scenario is that we're generating this information with AI, and then I think we're showing it on the page as a preview. And then once you sort of approve it, we're taking it into this page, and then we're going to be able to save it. Maybe we can show a live demo of it when it's working here.
For sure.
So
I think I'm on the final page now, if we want to just quickly run through the production timeline, and then we can do our live test and see if everything works out.
This is putting Justin under the gun. We lit a fire under him and just said, "Hey man, let's get you to build this app in
You really
half an
did.
hour." Yeah.
You really, thanks a lot,
But
guys.
the whole point of that is to show you guys that, like, you know, this is possible. Like, it's possible for you to build an entirely functional app using AI end to end in less than an hour. And you know, if you've got the knowledge and the know-how, obviously it goes a lot faster. And you know, it takes time to get there, but not that much time. Like, as an absolute beginner at this stuff, like when I started building apps in Frontly, it really only took me a few experiments and apps to be building stuff like this with relative ease.
Exactly. You know, a few weeks of dedicated learning and, you know, experimenting with Frontly, all the users that I've talked to personally who have really committed the time are, you know, they're just ecstatic about how much they can do. There's a moment where it sort of unlocks for them and they start to realize, and that's when you see the posts on Discord, people saying something like, you know, wow, I just realized all the possibilities. I've got all these different ideas. Because people do, you know, at the start, the less you know about Frontly, the less you're going to really understand the power of it and what you can actually do. Especially when you start digging into things like the local state, you can create fully dynamic pages. Like, you can have a button that shows or hides entire sections of the page. You can update user information. You can hide entire pages. Like, there's all these kind of fancy things that are actually pretty easy to set up once you understand. So there's some great stuff here. Someone asked, so these are actually hosted on the Frontly domain and not publishable to your own domain. So you can add a custom domain to any app. So, you know, your website.com, it doesn't have to say Frontly, but it's all hosted on Frontly's, you know, system. So it's not like you don't have to buy web hosting and host it on your own server. That's not an option, because the way that this whole platform is built is meant to be lightweight. We're hosting it for you. It's basically hosted as soon as you build it. So it's instant, but you do need to, or you want to add your custom domain, you can definitely do that.
We had some questions about data privacy as well on here, which I think are pretty important. Just asking about how is data saved in Frontly.
Let's see, where do we have that in the Q&A?
Yeah.
Okay.
From Andrea. Yeah.
So where's data saved in Frontly? Yeah. So all the data is, like, you know, by default, your data is in your, you know, your Google spreadsheet, right? That's the primary data store. Now, for usage in the app admin, some of your data does get stored in Frontly's secure database. And that's where the data is coming from when you're, you know, when you're editing your app. Like when Justin's previewing one of these pages, like the grid, it's showing the data there. That data is coming from Frontly's database. Now, we understand that users have sort of different preferences, and that there are different sort of privacy considerations around the world. And so one thing we are actively looking into right now would be options for, basically just different options for security preferences. It's for the user experience, it's ideal if that data can have a copy stored in the database, because it's fast, you don't have to load it. But one thing that we're looking into is basically having a toggle in the admin that says, never store any of my data in Frontly's database at all, in like the spreadsheet data. And then what we're going to have to do is we're just going to have to load that data in real time when you're in your admin. So it just means that, just like how in live mode, when you go to a page, it takes a second to load because it's pulling it from the sheet, that would also have to happen in the admin. So this is something that we're very open to working on, and it's something we're actively thinking about, especially during this current AppSumo launch. We've had a lot of users from around the world, and so we realize there are a lot of different places where data rules are different, and so we're excited to work on that. You know, we're a small startup, so we have to sort of start somewhere, and we're hearing the community asking for things like this, so that's something we're working on. How's it going, Justin?
I think we're done.
All right. Well, this is the real test. So why don't we try? And if there's any issue, then we can kind of debug it, or we can, maybe we can even quickly go back into the admin to just talk about why,
Yeah.
why these things are happening. So
what does anyone have any content recommendations?
yeah, we're looking for a content summary from the crowd. What should we make some content for, everybody? I know someone's going to have an idea. Why don't we do a content about drones? All right, I love it.
All right, places to see in BC, places to fly your drone in BC. There you go.
There we go.
Your drone.
Stephen, we're not joining your OnlyFans. It's not happening.
All right.
Closed. Let's make it casual. I forgot to fill in the length there. Let's just say it's 500, or let's keep it 200 words. Let's keep it short. Here we go. Moment of truth, ladies and gentlemen.
Okay, places to fly your drone in BC. Let's see what happens.
There we go.
All right.
Amazing.
So the app works, which is great, at least this part. So so really, just to summarize the functionality of this page, it's pretty simple. We have a form on the left, and we have, is that a rich text block on the right, or is that a
rich text block?
We have rich text block, which just simply allows you to format your text a little bit, bold and spaces, line breaks. And then behind the scenes, the form submit action is triggering an OpenAI request. We showed that previously. And we can even share like a screenshot maybe with you guys after, just in case you want to take a look at it again. But we've got a simple prompt, and then we formatted the object of the response so that it comes back with the title, the description, the summary, all in one response. Now, what's the next step, Justin? So when you hit assign content, what is that going to do? Nice.
So that's populating those fields with the content that we just generated using those local state variables. So we've added that data right into those variables. It's not being stored in the sheet. It's just in that local state. And then it's getting passed into the form fields where you can go and make modifications. You can change this to whatever you want before assigning it.
Yeah, this is a great example of that local state, just letting you basically put, I like to describe it like, imagine there's like this magical shelf that you can just put any data on, just sit there, and it waits for you to need it. So Justin, in the follow-up step to that OpenAI request, he created these local state variables called title, description, summary. Could have named them whatever he wanted, by the way, so whatever words you're using. And then on this page, when he went to populate the default value for each field, he went local state dot title, local state dot description. And that's how this page automatically populated. And the reason, I think, just conceptually that we did it this way is that Brian, when he was building this app, he didn't want these AI generated responses to save automatically. He wanted to be able to review them and basically confirm that it was worth saving. And then if you assign the content, I think then it saves. Is that correct?
You got it.
Yeah.
So it just means you don't end up with a bunch of garbage in your sheets if you're not happy. So you can see how it's not just generating AI responses. It's like you're creating a workflow that allows you to really successfully, implement AI. And as we've shown in some other tutorials, you can revise this stuff with AI too. So that's really cool.
Yeah. So I've realized I've missed one crucial step, everybody. Apologies. I forgot to complete the action sequence after clicking this assign content. So nothing's going to be saved from this form here if I were to push it through, or it might. Let's just see.
Well, it should be saved if by default, and it just creates a record. So maybe it just doesn't navigate because we didn't set that part up, right? But it looks like it's...
Yeah, I might have... Oh, there we go. Top 10 locations. Yep.
Nice. Awesome. So there you go. And maybe do you want to just click on that, on that item? So yeah, so this is all generated by AI. And then of course, we've got our filters and stuff like that. I think, honestly, I think Justin, maybe could you just show the OpenAI action step again, just so that I think now that we've gone this far, I imagine some users might want to, does anyone want to screenshot this and post it in the chat? I know someone was already doing that. So if you want to be really helpful, that would be amazing. So yeah, here we go. Create a summary, description, and title for a blank, which is the form type field variable. about the content summary in a content tone. So you just kind of have to get used to this weird way of like writing your prompt with these variables. Just, there's a placeholder and it's going to come from your user input. And then it says, don't preface it with anything else. It's just kind of an extra hint, essentially, just to try to make sure the AI doesn't respond weirdly. And because we've done the response type of the object, we have a much higher likelihood of it actually responding accurately. And something we didn't do in this tutorial and we haven't really talked about is the training examples. Justin, could you just go and click that add example and then click on it? So we probably won't bother actually writing this because it takes time. But what you have to do, if you want your AI response to be even more dialed in, you can give training examples. Technically, you can put as many as you want, but I would probably put like maybe 2 or 3 max. And this is just you writing an actual prompt, but with that, instead of the variables, you actually fill it with real words, and then you give it the response fields. So if you type all of the data in here, you're teaching AI, you're saying, hey, here's one example of how you could have responded to this prompt. And just even one training example is going to really fine tune your response, because it's going to show the AI like how long each response should be and sort of roughly the way it, should it reply in a really friendly tone or should it reply like a robot or, whatever. So that's up to you to experiment with. But we just wanted to make sure that you got a chance to learn that there is a training data option. Do you think maybe we're ready to go into like a Q&A kind of situation, or what?
Let's do it. I know we're coming up to 2 o'clock here, and we do want to do this giveaway as well. Patrick, I don't know if you want to open up the form giveaway.
Right. Yeah. So yeah, let me pull that up. That's exciting. So everybody that is on this webinar right now, we appreciate that there's 100 people here. There's actually more than at the start. So this is very, very, very exciting. I'm going to post in the chat right now a link, and everyone that's on the webinar right now can go to this webinar prize Frontly app, and you can fill in your name and your email. And if you do that, you're going to be added to our list. And what that means is it's actually a Google Sheet, obviously, with Frontly. And we're going to randomly generate a winner using a Frontly app that we built. So we're going to show this. And so we're just going to watch just going to spend a few minutes watching these submissions come in. I see them rolling in pretty quickly here. So yeah, really exciting. We're excited to give someone free unlimited access to Frontly. This is great. So thanks to everyone for joining. This is technically almost a 500 USD value here. And that's the AppSumo value. In reality, it's worth like way more, because
at least
that's
$5,000. It's worth at least $5,000.
Yeah.
Plus
like
the honor of being the winner is priceless, really.
It's true. Yeah. The glory, the eternal glory.
It's all about the glory. One of the things I want to say, we probably won't have time to answer everybody's questions on this call, but we're going to try to get to a few more of them. But if you're not already on the Discord, make sure you jump over onto the Discord server. Patrick, maybe you can drop the link in there again.
Sure.
If you want to just drop it over in the takeaways section,
that's much better.
Yeah, just if you guys see along the bottom there's a section that says takeaways. If you click there.
I think it's a takeaways maybe get sent by email to everyone after. So
okay,
looks like so it might just be more like a, hey, we'll send this to you at the very end. This is.
Let us know if you guys can see that. If you click on takeaways, you should be able to see the Discord.
Oh, maybe that is the case. Right. I guess I'm an admin, so I can't really tell. Cool. So yeah, we're watching the submissions come in. Right now we're at about 30 people that have submitted. So only about a third of the attendees have actually done that. So maybe I'm gonna just one more time here. I'm gonna post this link in the chat. So prize entry. So yeah, exactly. We, the less people that enter, the better chance. So we're only at 35 here. I think what we'll do is we'll wait until exactly 2 p.m. here, and then we're just gonna go. So anyone that happens to have entered by then is gonna be in. So we've got a much better chance than winning the lottery right now. I'll tell you that. Yeah, awesome. Anyway, thank you guys so much. We're really excited about this. So should we maybe answer a few questions, or should we just go right into the prize and then we can answer some questions after?
Yeah, so let's do this. Let's do the prize draw at 2:00, and then we can just hang out and keep answering a few more questions for anyone that wants to stick around for a little bit longer.
That seems fair. We won't punish these people if they.
We know who's just here for the win. You know, we know what it's all about.
Yeah. So no, this is awesome. So
do you want to do a screen share, Patrick, or how do you want to do the
yeah, I'll do a screen share. I can show everyone. I won't show you how I built the app because I don't want to reveal the list of all the attendees, obviously. So I hope you guys can appreciate that. But maybe what we'll do, if people are interested in how we created a random winner generator with Frontly, maybe we can just chat about it in like a Discord thread or something. I imagine could be useful. So, all right, everyone, it's 2:00. I am going to load my page in my app. So I'm going to share my screen, and then you guys can see that. Well, actually, I don't know how to share my screen.
Click on the bottom there in the middle. There's a little monitor with an arrow. Yeah.
Share screen. Okay. Window. Well, I'll just share my entire screen, I guess.
The
probably
intensity is ramping up. People are getting tense. I can feel it.
Yeah, this is stressful for everyone. Okay, now, can you guys see this?
We're good. Yeah.
All right. So very rudimentary app here, but what I've done is I have everyone that's signed up has been assigned a random number between 1 and 1,000, and this app using a custom variable in Frontly. When I load the page, so that it's been determined behind the scenes, the custom variable has picked the number that was the highest in the list, and that was random because everybody had a random number generated. And when I click reveal contest winner using the local state, we're going to reveal the winner's name. Are you guys ready? All right, I know you are. I'm going to click reveal contest winner. All right, we've got Yvonne. So
Yvonne Pedersen.
Congratulations,
Yvonne.
You've won
awesome.
Frontly Unlimited. So we'll message you directly, or we'll find a way to be in touch with you.
How about you message us and
too.
then yeah.
But we're gonna have to verify that you are in fact Yvonne, of course. We know there's probably not many of you on this call, so please don't try to impersonate Yvonne. Yeah, that's basically it. So we've used Frontly to randomly generate this, and depending on the plan that Yvonne is on, you'll be able to give this to somebody or use it yourself. So very exciting. Now, as we've talked about, we don't want to keep everyone on here who needs to go since it's been an hour, but we're happy to hang out for a while, and we'll kind of just try to burn through answering your questions. So thank you all for being here. Maybe let's just check it out. So I'm going to just pick some random questions, and maybe we can kind of alternate here. So
you can click the answer live button if you want to pop the question up on the screen there too.
Nice. Yeah. Okay, that's awesome. All right, so Stripe and Twilio integration. Is this possible? We don't have a direct integration with any of these platforms. However, I have successfully used Stripe's payment links. So Stripe has this no-code page. You basically create a product, and then you get a standard link that you can just send users to. And we actually use it even for our own billing for a lot of these custom, lifetime deals that we offer and stuff like that. So you've probably, a handful of you have used one of these payment links. And so what's cool is that using automations, like I did it in Make, the automation platform, but you can watch for successful payments that come in through Stripe. And then you can, add a record to your Google Sheet or something like that. Or you could update a record depending on your setup. So Twilio is I guess it's like SMS and a bunch of other things that they do now for sending messages and calls, I think. We don't have an integration, but you can definitely send a webhook, and presuming that Twilio, has an API that you can use, then you can do that. So I'll just mark this one as done. And let's see. Yeah, maybe we can just keep trying to find some more. Someone asked about local state storage. So is there any limit on how long a piece of content can be? No, I don't think there's any limit. And I'll answer this other question that was related to local state. Someone asked about security for local state. The local state is only in your browser, like in not even stored in like a cookie. It's just like in the session. So if you set values to the local state and then you refresh your browser window, they're gone. And so no one else will ever access those. Obviously, if you use the local state values to submit a request to Google Sheets or something, then it might be stored there, but it never gets stored other than just locally in your browser session. Wow, yeah, we have a lot of questions here. Can you use existing Google Sheets? Oh, this is Yvonne. Congratulations. Can you use existing Google Sheets that are connected to Google Analytics? So yeah, that's something that maybe we need to make very clear. Like you can import your own Google Sheets to Frontly. If you have Sheets, that's great. You probably wouldn't use the AI generator then because you already have your Sheets. So really, you've already got half of that started. So you can go to the Google Sheets page inside Frontly, and all you have to do is copy and paste your link. I'm not sure what the format of your Google Analytics sheets are, but probably compatible. I already answered this local state question, so I'm not going to answer that. Yeah, this is awesome. How about Brian and Justin? You seen any interesting questions in here we should answer?
I actually see a question from one of our participants asking about getting an app built. If he wanted to have an app built on Frontly, and I just mentioned to him the Frontly experts group, but I don't know if you wanted to maybe talk about that for a second as well.
Yeah, that's a good idea. So of course, you're looking at basically the Frontly team right now. That we have one other support agent, Hans, who's not here right now because he works in the evenings, but this is our team. So of course we aren't really able to directly help everyone to the degree that they might want. Sometimes we're always here to chat, but if you're looking to if you don't really want to learn the Frontly platform, or you don't have the time, but you understand the power of it and you want to take advantage of that to improve your business somehow, then we have some really, really great people who are Frontly customers, and they are obsessed with the platform. They've become experts, and a lot of them, I think most of them, are actually running their own contracting businesses where they already have clients, and they charge probably hourly rates or contract rates to build apps. So if you end up needing any help, you can always reach out to us. We're more than happy to connect you with someone if you just don't know where to start. But we also have the experts marketplace where you can go, and we'll make sure that link is available as well. Someone asked about a template marketplace. So yes, definitely something we've thought about. There are a few considerations, just because if you create a template, there's data in the sheets and all that. So it's essentially just we need to make sure that we have a nice automated system for someone to submit a template to this marketplace and then be able to make those downloadable or installable by other users. We do think that's a really big value, and I think I can only imagine how much template sharing you guys would all be doing. So I think it is something that we're looking to do. So thank you.
There's some questions about storage, like image storage and document storage and document sizes and stuff like that. Is that something? Did we cover that at all yet?
No, we haven't talked about that. So yeah, I can mention that. So our storage system for images and files is called Cloudinary. So what it is it's basically just a CDN, like a file hosting platform, and it just makes things really efficient. That's just our system that we use for just the generic uploads. I think there is about a 5 megabyte file limit, like per file, and some users have had issues with that. For the most part, like right now, we don't really anticipate Frontly being used for uploading heavy media, like gigabyte video files and stuff like that. Of course, we are open-minded about looking into solutions. Like at some point, we're going to need to find a way to allow you to link your own file storage separately for just corporate governance rules, where you might need to have your files stored inside your own server, but then also for hosting. One thing that people ask a lot about, which is not actually possible, is file storage in your Google Drive. Google Drive is not designed for hosting files that are used publicly. I have tried this. Even if you magically can find a way to have a link that's like public facing, it will expire because the links to your Google Drive are just to the folder structure, and they are not actual file links like you would find in a file hosting platform. So these are things we're definitely looking into. We are receiving some questions and feedback from users about files and images and other types of files. So yeah, we're looking into that. So thank you for asking.
I mean, it is easy to have your stuff stored on other file hosting and image hosting services and just drop a link into your app. And I think it's important to remember that like Frontly's core use case is not file hosting. And so, it can definitely do a lot of things, but that's where the power of webhooks and automations can come in to really help you leverage other services on top of that. So it's not really a blocker, it's just a workaround that you got to work with in order to make that use case work for you.
Yeah, that's true. It's at the end of the day, Frontly can display any image link, and so if you're not able to use our current file system, probably there's some kind of workaround. Someone was just asking Les, who is definitely our most sarcastic user. He's you'll see him in Discord for sure. Thanks for joining, Les. Les asked about Glide and where we see ourselves sort of in the market of Google Sheets no-code solutions, and that's a great question. Part of this is discovering this process of working with all these users, doing these webinars. We're trying to learn as much as we can about how Frontly helps you. And right now we see ourselves as we're trying to be the easiest and fastest option to build apps. We know that some of our users have converted from companies like Glide and from other platforms like Softer that they have told me that they found Frontly easier. I think we also have a few features that are a bit more advanced, the way that we deal with some of our dynamic variables and state and things like that. But we're always open to feedback too. So, if any of you have used any of our competitors and you want to give us feedback, comparing us to their platforms and telling us how we can do better, then please reach out, because that would be great. And I have never checked out AI Table. I will have to. I don't know if I think it's like a no-code database, maybe. So I'll have to check that out. Right. Yes. Witty and sarcastic, Les. I agree. Okay. So AI Table is kind of like Sheets and Airtable. Interesting. Okay. Yeah. I mean, we're looking into a lot of different options for databases. Like Google Sheets is our primary, and I've wanted to keep it like that for a long time because I know that for a lot of people, that's still the easiest option. But we've definitely realized that when you go above the sort of 10,000 row-ish limit, depending on how many columns you have, it just starts to slow down. And so I've been running experiments in the background. I've tried a platform called Supabase, which is like this kind of developer-y, but sort of no-code database. We are going to be doing Airtable, I think, pretty soon. So we're going to keep expanding at a some reasonable rate to hopefully give some other options. But most importantly, it's just for scalability. Like we're probably not going to be the platform that has integrations with every single database, but because we need to focus, and it's just hard. We're a small team, so maybe over time. But right now, I think we're focusing on some of the other easy no-code database options. All right, awesome. Let's see. Yeah, I mean, and obviously we're not going to be able to answer all the questions here today. So I really appreciate everyone coming. We can create like a follow-up Q&A thread on Discord or something if we want to continue. Make everyone who didn't join feel like they missed out. That would be really fun.
Absolutely.
So let's definitely do that. I'll say one thing about custom CSS. So this has been asked many times. Now, of course, we want to give our users what they want, but really, statistically, a very small number of our users actually want custom CSS. I understand as a developer why that does seem appealing. However, I would say anyone that's requesting custom CSS, please message me on Discord or post on Discord and let us know what exactly you're looking to customize, because the goal of Frontly is to keep it simple. And the issue is, if we start opening up custom CSS, it's not as simple as you might think to integrate into a platform like this because of the way that it's built. But it's also pretty easy for us to add styling options that are, a no code in the interface styling options. So, just the other day, we finally added like more button styling and things like that. We're happy to add styling options. We're just doing them very pragmatically so that we don't overwhelm the user interface with lots of, unnecessary things. Because if we add everything that everyone wants, well, then unfortunately, Frontly is going to have 20,000 features and it's going to be really confusing. So we have to kind of hold true to our vision, and we appreciate that everyone gives a lot of feedback. I think we try a lot, and the same goes for custom code. Like, it's not totally off limits. We may find a way to offer like a custom HTML block or something like that, but again, we would much prefer, whenever possible, to build a specific solution if there's truly something missing that needs that functionality. Like, let's talk about the functionality that's missing as opposed to customizing, because we want everyone to be able to access these amazing features. We don't want it to just be limited to coders, because that's not the majority of who uses Frontly. So maybe that's good for the Q&A for now. Any sort of final comments from you, Brian, or Justin?
No, I'm just overwhelmed at the turnout. I'm so impressed by this community and the people who show up for things like this, and it's really exciting for us. And I think we're going to be doing more of this in the future here, especially as we get more into new templates and new content inside of Frontly. This is a great way for us to share that and discuss it with you guys in the community. And yeah, just keep the conversation going on over on Discord. If you haven't joined already, get over there, join Discord. If you haven't picked up your lifetime deal on AppSumo yet, do it now. I'm gonna, tell you guys that this is not something that's gonna go around forever. We're gonna pop it up on the screen just to do it, just because we got the functionality. Buy now. It's a crazy deal, especially if you're running a small agency or a team, and we have people who have already built 3 or 4 apps for their internal teams and are just getting like a ton of value out of this. So yeah, this is just scratching the surface today, and hopefully we'll dive into more detail and more advanced stuff in future webinars and videos and sessions. So yeah, just keep the conversation going over on Discord. Let us know what you want to see, and we're just super excited to see what you guys create.
Yeah, one comment about the timeline of the AppSumo deal. So we've done this a few times. We are going to make this the last AppSumo deal, and the reason is, we, as a software company, we need to build sort of sustainable monthly revenue. I know that AppSumo users really, really love these lifetime deals. Who wouldn't, right? But we can't offer these forever. So this is going to be our last, lifetime deal launch on AppSumo. And basically, I think it's in about 2 weeks. I don't think I can technically give the exact end date just for contractual reasons, but just consider yourself having like 1 to 2 weeks left of the ability to buy this deal. And after that, we're going to be going to monthly subscription model exclusively. So, we will have options for upgrading in the future, but we probably won't be able to make them lifetime deals because, as a software company, the way it works is, most companies are built on recurring revenue because there are recurring costs. We have a team, we pay ourselves to run this business and survive. And so lifetime deals are great, but then after, maybe a year, all the money's gone and then we still have to run the platform. So we appreciate your support. AppSumo has been great for us to help us find everybody and build this community. But if you are looking to lock it in, then, we recommend doing that sooner than later. And obviously, if you reach out to us at any time in the future, if you're looking to upgrade, reach out and we'll see what we can do. It may not be a lifetime deal. It's definitely not going to be the same level of deals that we have here right now, but we're happy to try to support you. And if you're able to support us, that's amazing. So thank you very much, everybody.
Thanks so much. And thank you, Justin, for pulling off a crazy app build in a very short period of time. Everyone should be giving Justin a high five for that.
Yeah.
Crazy.
Yeah, appreciate all the love and support in my DMs after that. But yeah, I just wanted to say thanks to everyone again for jumping in and asking your questions. If we didn't get to your questions, please, like our in-app support chat is still operational. You can reach out with your questions, and we'd be more than happy to answer them from there. There were a lot of good ones, but I wanted to make sure, yeah, we get to all of them at some point.
And we'll be sending out a link to the recap of this as well, so you can have access to the video if you want to watch it again. And we'll also be sending out a template with the app that we created in this webinar in the next few days. So keep an eye out for that. This will be a new template in the library for Frontly as well.
Yep. Awesome. Well, thanks to everyone for attending. This is awesome. Not the AI generator app is the one that we're going to be creating a template of. I mean, hey, like I said, if people want to understand how we did the randomized winner thing, we can talk about that. It's pretty easy, actually. It's mostly just an array formula in the Google Sheet. But yeah, we can talk about that separately. So thanks everybody, and yeah, we'll see you again soon.
Thanks, guys.
Thank you.